For the Boot Room presented by Jack Daniels Bonded today, we're going to focus on Arsenal because what a season they've had. They have been the story, really, of this season so far. We thought we'd just take a moment because now that they are challenging Manchester, I was going to say Manchester City and Liverpool, but of course, Liverpool struggling so far this season, Tim. They are challenging Manchester City. To get to that level and sustain it, what is the most important thing Arteta now has to do to ensure that they not just challenge this season, but all the hard work he's done in the last few years keeps them up there?
It's going to be his, I think, man motivation, right? Because he has me believing that he's this incredibly experienced manager who's doing all the right things because he's outwardly brash and egotistical in the best way possible. The way he is on the touchline, the way he is in his press conferences, again, who he's learned from in Pep Guardiola. So he has me believing as an outsider that they can challenge, that they're meant to be there, even though I feel like it's almost a bit too soon. If he's convincing me of that, then I'm certain he's convincing his own players of that. And I think when I look at his team, the recruitment has been brilliant down the spine of the team. You know, I even think of like players like Xhaka, who once threw the captain's armband down. He's now a productive leader, and I didn't think you'd say he would be a leader for this team, and he has been. They've rectified a lot of their issues in the disciplinary area, keeping players on the pitch. Obviously, injuries are going to play a huge part. But I have to say, this feels a little bit like Leicester. I know it's a reach, but I played in that 2016 season, and all you kept saying all season was, they can't do it. They can't do it. And week in, week out, they kept getting those results. This will go a long way. Last week, the North London Derby, great win. This will go a long way today if they can beat Liverpool and let people know we are here. Yeah, that was a statement. This would be an even bigger statement, even though Liverpool are out of sorts. So man management, Tim thinks, could be the thing that really keeps Arsenal challenging for the next few years. Agree?
Yeah, in part. I'll be a bit more pragmatic in where I see it, Rebecca. Continue to build a culture at your football club so that when people come, they understand it, they see it, they feel it, they know it, the training, your timekeeping, your discipline, your man management on and off the pitch, all those things. When I look at Jurgen Klopp, who's been at Liverpool for 7 years, there was a steady progression of all those things. There's a culture now at Liverpool. You go to Liverpool, I know they're not playing particularly well at the moment, but you know what's expected of your football club. Continue to build that culture. Secondly, Rebecca, I would look at Mikel Arteta and say, how do we get this from like 7 or 8 good games, what we've seen at the start of the season, into a season's body of work? It's not about 7 games. It's not about to the break. It's about a body of work that's 38 games. He has to keep relevant. He has to keep current. He has to get in a position, Rebecca, where when it's 1-1 at half-time and we go into the dressing room, we don't know what he's going to say. He's going to surprise us with something. Because sometimes the voice can get a little bit too regular. You know what's going to come. It's possibly a thing that's happened with Brendan Rodgers at Leicester. It gets a bit samey. One thing I'd point to down the track is maybe you have to change your backroom staff a little bit. Different voices, different training, different things. And finally, for Mikel Arteta, he's got to have the vision of what Arsenal can become, the vision of what it takes. Upgrades in players, big decisions on transfers, maybe changing the system, changing the way they play. So some big sort of pillars for Mikel Arteta. But what I would say so far this season, we're starting to see a progression. Today will give us an indication is this still, work in progress, or are they starting to make real steps?
Tim, what it has taught us is that we've often sat in this studio and talked about whether it be Arsenal or United, about how far away they are. They're years away from challenging the top 2. Arsenal were 5th last season, and they could go back top today. Are you surprised how quickly this has happened? Yeah,
and that's what I said. It almost feels too soon, which is why I think there is some skepticism and thinking, is this real? Can they sustain this? But to your point, he has to keep his message fresh, continue to demand for his players. Vincent Kompany once told me about Pep Guardiola. He says, it's just so tiring. He demands so much of us, but he knew his players. He knew he had world-class players. And Mikel Arteta has some of that. So that certainly needs to drive that forward.
Does it remind you at all of the 2016 season with Leicester?
I'm romantic, Rebecca, you know me. But we've got a little way to go. But if Arsenal can finish second, can put that kind of work in, steady progress, Rebecca, sometimes is better than a boom and bust. And at the moment, Mikel Arteta has got his team right where they want. The biggest compliment I'll give Mikel Arteta, we know what we're going to get from Arsenal, and we haven't been able to say that for a long time.
Yeah, and 5th to 2nd wouldn't even be steady. That would be a significant jump, wouldn't it, for Arsenal fans? I'm sure would they take it now? They might do. Although, let's see later, because they beat Liverpool and they go top. I don't think they would take 2nd, because that would be a major statement. That was the boot room presented by Jack Daniels, bonded ahead of Arsenal against Liverpool a little bit later on. Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. For even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend on USA Network and on Peacock. We will see you over there.